Good afternoon, new students of the Faculty of Engineering, parents, and stakeholders. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to our virtual orientation session. The faculty conveys its gratitude to you for taking the time to be a part of this orientation session. I am Dr. Stanley Brown, Deputy Dean of Teaching, Learning, and Student Matters for the Faculty of Engineering Mona campus. So today is our virtual orientation session, and I want to thank God, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for his mercy in these unprecedented times, and pray for his protection and guidance as a faculty for this upcoming academic year. So today's orientation session will be very informative with valuable information that will take you through to your final year here in the Faculty of Engineering. So we'll be having various talks. We have Dr. Lyndon Faulkner will be talking about your Capstone project, and graduates from the Faculty of Engineering will be speaking on where engineering can take you in life. We'll be hearing from the Health Center, the library, Faculty Guild representatives, to name a few. Again, the faculty express thank you to you, our new students, for taking the time out to be a part of this orientation experience. We'll begin with an address from the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Adrian Lawrence. We welcome you.
Thank you, Dr. Stanley Brown. Greetings, students, greetings, parents. On behalf of the academic, administrative, technical, and support staff of the Faculty of Engineering at Mona, I would like to personally welcome you to the University of the West Indies, and in particular, welcome to the Faculty of Engineering. You have definitely made the right decision in choosing to pursue your engineering education at the University of the West Indies. The UA is ranked in the top 4% of universities in the world, which means that you are now attending the top-ranked university in the region. Engineering is a fascinating profession. Engineering as a career will enhance your ability to think analytically in the way you approach problem solving. You will never have a boring life in this career. In the course of study and work, an engineer will face challenging situations where creativity and logical ability is highly required. One of the cool things about engineering is that you can introduce new concepts and ideas. And indeed, here at the Faculty of Engineering Mona, we encourage you to think outside of the box. So let me now talk to you about the faculty in which you are now a part of. The mission of the Faculty of Engineering is to provide a high-quality education in engineering with emphasis on application via research and development in support of Caribbean businesses, industry, and infrastructure. Our driving goal is to have our graduates, our staff, and facilities at the forefront of propelling growth, development, and innovation in the Caribbean and indeed across the wider world. The faculty consists of lecturers who are experienced teachers and leading practitioners in the field of engineering. Many of us are licensed engineers in Jamaica, the wider Caribbean, and the United States of America. Be assured that you are entering a program that will provide you with a high-quality education and support during these unprecedented times. I am sure many of you applied to the University of the West Indies, not just for your engineering education, but also for the on-campus experience. The faculty has plans to return to face-to-face course delivery as soon as it is practical to do so. However, with the current COVID-19 infection environment, we will start this semester online. I know that this is very disappointing, and we are disappointed too. However, think of this online mode of teaching as us taking all the necessary precautions to ensure that you, our students, and indeed our staff are cared for and protected from this virus. We will also ensure that we will make our online sessions as interactive, engaging, and exciting as possible. You will not miss out on anything by not being able to attend the physical classroom space. At this time, I encourage those of you who are not yet vaccinated to do so. The vaccine is available right here on campus at the Mona Aging and Wellness Center. The staff there are professional, compassionate, and will make the process seamless. In closing, I want to again welcome you to Mona Engineering. And if you're on campus and see me, say hello. Good luck in your transition to university and have a successful semester.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lawrence. So we'll continue with our program for today. And next we have our Deputy Deans. We're going to be hearing from the Deputy Dean of Quality Assurance, that is Dr. Leighton Ellis, followed by the Deputy Dean of Outreach, Internationalization and Marketing, Dr. Omar Thomas.
All right. Greetings again, everyone. I'm glad to welcome you to the Faculty of Engineering and thankful that you students have chosen this campus as the main campus. Now, of course, I'm believing that there's a wise reason why you have done so. You most likely have heard that we are what you could call the regional program with the global reach, having had the accreditation from the ABET for our electronics engineering program, and soon to be, or being well, all the other programs will be accredited as well for ABET. This now gives you an avenue into being the widest reach of engineering and the largest engineering body on a global scale. But there's a part that you must play as students as well, and that involves your role in the staff student liaison committee. With each class or each level, we are requesting that you will have your student representation, just like you may have experienced at secondary school with your classes. And there they can bring forward their complaints, but hopefully their compliments as well, as to what it is that we're doing right, where we could make some adjustments here or there so that we could serve you even better. And therefore, you will find a wonderful experience here. Now, as the Dean had mentioned before, the virtual space makes it a little bit challenging in order to carry out all the general functions as we may have experienced in the face-to-face, but with your help, we believe that we'll be able to achieve this nonetheless, and that your experience will be just as worthwhile as if you were here right before our faces. You'll find the quality of the teachers that we have. All the teachers here are ones with experience in the field, professionally, academically, and otherwise. We're doing a number of research in that area to show forth a lot more of the work that we're doing. And so we ask that you students would be a part of that process. One question I always ask students, or request to ask of my students in the first year of the first class that you will have, is that you start thinking about a problem. Look around you in your society, look around in your communities, look around in your homes, and see a problem that you could identify and see how your degree could help you to solve that problem. Therefore, it enriches your experience here with us on campus, and you ask any questions you want in the classroom that may be related to solving that problem. That way, education comes to life. So we ask that you would just bear with us in these trying times that we're experiencing, and we hope to see each and every one of you face to face in the very near future. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for choosing us, and we hope to continue our partnership in achieving your ultimate goal of a degree in engineering here at the University of the West Indies. Over to you, Omar.
Should it Nicholas? Alice? So my name is Dr. Omar Thomas. I'm Deputy Dean for Outreach, Internationalization, and Marketing. Just to give you an idea of what my team does, first off, we do student recruitment. I'm sure I would have met many of you, more so on Zoom because of the pandemic. Traditionally, we have done school visit tours, career days, and open days, but these all had to be done online over the past year. One of the things we do is to track our students in terms of their initial contact, whether it was via online or some school visit. And so in the month of September, you'll be receiving a survey just asking you some basic questions so that we can improve on our student recruitment for next year. We liaise with our student organization for a number of student activities in planning their activities. So a number of our engineering clubs liaison with my team as well. There's also a number of international collaborations with universities, whether it's via the Capstone projects or exchange programs and so forth. Then scholarships, all right? There are a number of scholarships that are available to our students. We have a link on our webpage, and I encourage you to check them out in terms of scholarship and student funding. Last but certainly not least, we assist the faculty in terms of the management of the social media pages, and so help keep students abreast of our activities from time to time. Just to talk a little bit about scholarship and funding, there's the MST Vet Scholarship, the JAMVAT, and the JAMVAT Scholarship offered through the Ministry of Education. The deadline for those would have passed for this year, but you can look out for them for next academic year. There's a New Fortress Energy Scholarship, Jamaica Flour Mill Scholarship, which are geared towards engineering students as well. And of course, there's a Student Loan Bureau. So from the Outreach and Internationalization and Marketing team, we welcome all our new students to an exciting academic year 2021 to 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Omar Thomas. All right, before we go forward, we have our Deputy Dean, Dr. Nicholas Morris. He is the Deputy Dean of Research, Innovation, and Industrial or Commercial Applications, and he's also the Head of Program for Civil Engineering. He will be coming, but some quick reminders, students, you should be able to post your questions to the live chat, and our team, they're on hand to respond to any query that you have. And in the future, during your tenure here at the university, you should be able to send your requests and queries to engineering.requests at uemona.edu.jn. So we just welcome Dr. Nicholas Morris.
Thanks, Roxanne. Yeah, let me send out my hearty welcomes to the cohort of 2021-2022. You guys, welcome to the Faculty of Engineering, University of the West Indies, MONA. As Roxanne mentioned, I'm the head of the Civil Engineering Program and the Deputy Dean for Graduate Studies, Innovation, and Research. So you're fine to start at the end how we like to culminate civil engineering students is in a final year project. All engineering students will end up with a final year capstone project. And that capstone project will be an introduction into research and innovation. So there is where some of my contributions, where the rubber hits the road, you may say, and where you will be prepared thoroughly as engineers. For now, we're familiar with the systems that we have here. We're operating remote there. So come again. I'll start my event and do the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Morris. All right, so moving ahead now. So we're going to have our talks from our heads of programs. So here at the Faculty of Engineering, we have 4 BSc engineering programs. We have our civil engineering program, our biomedical engineering program, our electronics engineering program, and our electrical power engineering program. So we'll be having the head of programs coming and just sharing us a little about their department with you all. So I'm going to ask Dr. Lyndon Faulkner to begin. He is the head of the electronics engineering program, followed by Dr. William Rose, and then followed by Ms. Sasha Gay Wright, who is the head of program for biomedical engineering.
Not hearing.
Everyone, thank you very much, Dr. Roxanne Stennett Brown. Welcome, students. Welcome to this great institution, the place for you to shine. I come to you with a wealth of knowledge, both theoretically and practically, in computer science and electronics engineering. All our lecturers are good at research. They have experience in the industry and experience teaching and delivery. We have lecturers from different parts of the world. We have lecturers from the United States, from India, from Africa, Nigeria in particular, and also, of course, from Jamaica. Electronics engineering is a wonderful field. It is a field that allows you to do so many things. What is electronics engineering? Electronics engineering is a discipline that utilizes components, it utilizes different semiconductor devices, and these devices are used to build larger scale systems. They build systems such as microcontrollers, microprocessors, and computers. And these systems are used to build systems such as robotic systems. They are using application in the Internet of Things devices, including Industry 4.0 solutions. They are also used to build artificial intelligence systems, electric vehicles, telecommunication systems, satellite communication, and I can go on and on. The field of electronics engineering impacts all the other engineering fields. It is a field that helps to modernize civil engineering, for example. In the implementation of wireless sensor networks, these sensors can be used to monitor bridges, buildings, to monitor vibrational patterns, and to detect if there is a problem. In the field of electrical power engineering, electronic systems can be used to implement automatic monitoring systems that monitor the electric grid, and in the implementation of smart grids. In the field of biomedical engineering, electronics engineering assists in the development of robotic systems, which are applied in surgery and rehabilitation. So I welcome you all to the Faculty of Engineering and to Electronics Engineering. And as Dr. Ellis said, the Electronics Engineering program is ABET accredited. It's an internationally accredited engineering program. So welcome and thank you for choosing this great institution. Over to you, Dr. Rose.
Biomedical engineering head of program to go ahead until Dr. Rose's issues are sorted out. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much, Dr. Stennett Brown. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for choosing the Faculty of Engineering for your program of choice. I'm going to be speaking about biomedical engineering. As Dr. Stennett Brown said, I'm the head of program. And biomedical engineering is really the newest program. However, it is so necessary, especially in a time like this. You can see it's COVID time and we are trying to bridge that gap. So with biomedical engineering, we're mixing both biology-based and engineering-based courses. So as you can imagine, when you come in, your first year courses are going to be engineering-based. However, as the time progresses, you'll be doing your biology courses. Now, in order to deliver this world-class program, we have collaborated with several local and international biomedical engineering related companies. For example, NovaMed. NovaMed has taken on quite a number of our interns. They've also provided funding for the final year Capstone projects. We've also collaborated with Cordis. This is a company found in Miami. They're also biomedical engineering related company. We also collaborate with Surgix. Surgix is Jamaica based and they are about to take on some of our interns as well. Medical Link has been awesome. They have collaborated with us in terms of hands-on training. So our final year students have actually benefited from hands-on training with the Puritan Bennett 980 ventilator. They're all currently trained and certified in end user management, and that is through a collaboration with Medical Link. We've also collaborated with Medical Technologies and also some international universities as well, such as UPenn and Binghamton University. And I have a short video afterwards, and you'll see some of these rehabilitative projects that we've done with UPenn, where students have built projects and prototypes that directly help patients to, overcome disabilities, to overcome challenges that they may face as a result of certain diseases. Now, not only are we giving you great programs and good courses, but we're also giving you the opportunity to be a part of our student chapter. So we have the Biomedical Engineering Society U.S. student chapter, of which I'm the staff advisor. Our sister chapter is the Mayo Clinic Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. Now, this is not solely for our biomedical engineering students. So whether you're in civil or electronics or electrical power, we invite you to come and be a part of our club. You can build projects to literally change people's lives there. And so I'll now leave with a short video, very short video, showing you what our students have done over the past 3 years. Please note that the first prototype that you see was actually built by one of our biomedical engineering students. So let's see what the video is showing. and that just let you know that the last prototype that you saw, that was actually, again, built by one of our students. We also had pictures there of a conference that we attended with Medical Links. So being a part of this program, we do expose you to the different prototypes that are in industry. My final slide is just giving you my contact information. We will be having a post-orientation session, but in the interim, you can feel free to contact me at the email address that is listed here. So thank you very much.
You may go ahead, Dr. Rose. So Dr. Rose is the head of program of electrical power engineering, and he'll be talking about the electrical engineering program here at the faculty. Thank you.
One moment. Okay, I'm having a little problem. Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. My name is William Rose. I'm Dr. William Rose. I'm head of program for power engineering, an interesting and exciting form of engineering, right? So we'll first do basically what's a definition. The power engineering, also called power system engineering, is a subfield of electrical engineering that deals with the generation, transmission, distribution, and utilization of electric power and the electrical apparatus connected with such system. All of us in our everyday life have to use electrical equipment, whether it be your light bulb, whether it be your electric stove, whether it be even your phone that you use every day and some of you cannot be detached from is needs power to keep it going. So by just that, you can see how important the idea of power generation, distribution, etc. is. Okay, so yes, so slide. Okay. At the university, at Mona, right? Electrical power engineering is a study of the generation, transmission, distribution, as we said before, and control of electricity. You have different forms from fossil fuel, we have coal and gas, renewable sources like the sun, wind, etc. The discipline addresses the practical and theoretical rigors required in the design, the implementation, and analysis of electrical power system. And you are here to be a part of this. And this is important when I say a part of this, because you are engineers, and you are not just engineers, electrical engineers and power engineers. You're a special group of people. You're special because you can handle the rigors of the theory, the mathematics, and our expectation of you are high. And I am hoping that I should think the expectation of yourselves are also high. we will require a lot from you, and we expect you to put in a lot. And between us as our staff and you as student, at the end of the program, we expect you to have achieved and feel accomplished about the entire idea of being an engineer. In other words, you'll feel like an engineer. Now, there are a lot of overlapping areas in electrical engineering. You find that in your power engineering, you do some courses that are coming from biomedical, electrical, etc. Because for the knowledge that you need is drawn from many places, including the physics that you did, including the mathematics that you did, the chemistry that you did, because essentially engineering is an application, right? It's an application of the sciences. And because it's an application of the sciences, it requires you to be a thinker. And that's why you're here, because you're one of the person who can think critically. And that is so important. I say this because you'll find that even other places, apart from engineers, seek out engineers because of their critical thinking. So for your entire 3 years here, we're going to ask you to keep that thinking cap on. And afterwards, it will serve you well. So we have theoretical and practical knowledge. Theory is basically what you learn. You learn how the idea behind the theory behind the stuff, right? And practical is from experience. In your tenure here, you'll get both exposure to the theory and also exposure to the practical. And it's a symbolism. When you bring these two together, they complement each other. And at the end of the entire process, we will have a knowledgeable person who is also experienced, right? And that is what we're looking for. Now, there are various forms involved in power engineering. There is, for instance, there is hydroelectric, right? Where usage of water that turns a turbine and therefore produce electricity. There is, for instance, a steam generator, where steam is used to turn a turbine again and produce the electricity that we so need. For the steam generation, sometimes we use fossil fuel, you can use coal, even wood per se. As long as the steam is generated, you can basically cause a steam turbine to move, and the movement of that causes the production of electricity. Now, there are other forms that we have to be, cognizant of. There's geothermal engineering, which basically uses the heat from inside the earth to actually produce energy. You basically are turning this energy from the geothermal to basically to electricity. There is also nuclear energy, and that is, although controversial, it is a usable, and it is still in use in a lot of countries, and it is still a viable source of energy. Of course, there are issues surrounded with it, and as an engineer, you are also tasked with solving some of the issues that are associated with the production of electricity or power from nuclear energy. Okay? Now, of course, there is other renewables. There is wind, and there is, of course, solar. Okay, and solar is the uses of an infinite source of energy, which is the sun. Right? It is probably not as efficient as we'd like it to be, but that's where engineers again are working tirelessly to make it more efficient, to make the panels more efficient, and so that we can harness more from the suns. Right? There's wind energy. If you go out to some parts in like St. Elizabeth, you'll see these gigantic propellers that basically are being turned by the wind. And the wind, those propellers turn a turbine, and again, in an electromagnetic field, it produces electricity. Okay? Okay. So we can produce electricity, we also need to store electricity for many reasons. For instance, one of the things that when you do solar, when the sun goes out, you no longer have any solar, but the need for the energy still exists. So it behooves us to find a way to store it, and that's where the battery technology comes in, right? So we have, for electrochemical, you have battery, right? Etc. For mechanical, you have the flywheel. Electrical, you have various forms of storage, because it is important, and you should know this now, because, for instance, there is a rush onto electric cars. It is predicted that a few years from now, you'll have no gasoline cars, you'll have mostly electrical cars, and these electrical cars have to be powered, and therefore battery, as you probably heard about Tesla cars, etc. The idea behind a great part of it is the storage of the energy for the usage in the motors that actually propel these vehicles. So it is, I can't express more how exciting and how challenging this field is, and how much we need engineers. We need engineers. The world needs engineers. And our expectation of the engineers that we are going to turn out here is high. And we expect that you all will rise to the challenge. Another part of the challenge also is, I didn't go about the grid, but that is just basically another aspect that you will also envision. This is basically, you have different sources and you bring it all together on a grid. You have a mini grid, you have smart grid that can decide whether you need energy or you need to put energy into this on the grid, etc. You will be exposed to all of this. You will have experiments and even projects that deal with all of this. One of the other things that you are also tasked with is environmental responsibility, because, as you know, one of the topics that are being discussed a lot is like global warming and the idea that the pollution in the air. So we are tasked with producing energy and producing power, right, with low amount of environmental impact. So as we study how to produce the power and how well we manage the power, we also have to study how we can manage the effect it has on the environment. Now, these are all huge tasks, but I am thinking that we have very bright students who are willing to put their shoulders to the wheel, and at the end of this 3 years, you will be equipped. You will feel equipped. You will have the knowledge, and you will have the confidence to step out, whether you are going on to graduate school or whether you plan to go into industry, and you will serve. Your UE degree will serve you well. So thank you very much. We'll have a post meeting on Thursday, and where my information will be available to you, and we'll talk a little bit more about our expectations and your expectations, and etc., etc. But welcome again. We expect great things from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rose. All right. So next, we're going to have the head of program for civil engineering, Dr. Nicholas McMorris. And just a reminder, we encourage you to post questions in the live chat, and our team, they're there to respond to any of your queries. Also, following today and for the rest of the week, we'll be meeting with the various heads of program so that we can get more detail about our programs going forward. I'll give you the date a little later.
Thanks, Roxanne. Afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering, and welcome especially to my civil engineers. Welcome to all engineers. So, what is civil engineering? Well, you're here already, so that means that you have an idea possibly of what civil engineering is. Well, let's talk about the program first. The program is 3 years in duration, should you pass all your courses at the first go. So that's a strong suggestion that you want to pay attention to that in the early parts. Don't drop any courses because it's going to hold you back. You have a 3-year program. And the diet for the 3-year program is fairly set. There isn't much flexibility in it, and it compares favorably with 4-year programs which are ABRET accredited, and we are also seeking ABRET accreditation. So you don't have to worry too much about which courses to choose. They're pretty much set out in the handbook. Simply register for the suitable courses in the current semester that you're in. Where you run is when you're a trailing course, and then you drop our trailing courses. So we have an institute, a student chapter of the Institute of Structural Engineers out of the UK here. So I encourage you to join that. That will connect you well with the structural engineering industry particularly, but I may be getting ahead of myself. So what is civil engineering? So civil engineering has been around for some time. It's the oldest of the civil engineering disciplines we have now. And in some sense, you could say that it provides the systems that make us live in a civilized way, right? So if you are interested in civil engineering, these questions should appeal to you, right? And again, what are some of the traits of civil engineering? So again, you can use these as guides to sort of see what the skill set it is that you need and what skill sets you have that naturally make you a civil engineer. So what are those things that make us live in a civilized way? Well, first of all, we live in connected cities, so we need roads, right? So roads have been here since the Roman days, right? And we have transportation engineering, which is a sub-discipline of civil engineering, which helps us with transportation of all sorts. Secondly, we need shelter, right? So civilized people live under shelter. So these are, generally speaking, buildings, right? But all different types of structures. We see one of the oldest standing structures here on the planet. And then we can think about, well, if we're going to be living in cities, then we have to think about our human waste, right? And if we're all living so close, what's going to happen with our human waste? So environmental engineering and the treatment of sewage is a big aspect of civil engineering. Well, again, if we're going to be, so generally also, when we live in cities and in close gatherings, we change the environment and we change it into what is termed the built environment. And when we make changes to the built environment, we have to monitor what happens with nature. So hence we have environmental engineering, right? And we also traditionally have to deal with stormwater. We just had a couple of storms here in Jamaica. The Caribbean is very familiar with hurricanes and storms. What happens with all that stormwater when we have modified the built environment? Right, so those sort of break down. Let me not, coastal engineering, we live on islands here, and monitoring our beach and the progression of our coastlines with respect to climate change is very important. Right, so those would cover, and sorry, the fundamental thing that we all need is water. How do we get water to everyone? Right? Clean drinking water to everyone. That's a pillar of civil engineering. So those kind of give you a guide into the various sub-disciplines of civil engineering. But we're not teaching here today. So generally that leads you into the construction arena. Whether you're a designer, an implementer, meaning a contractor, or somebody who checks or verifies stuff being part of the infrastructure administration. What are some of these institutions that you could end up in as a civil engineer once you have completed your 3-year undergraduate degree at the University of the West Indies? Well, typical stuff like the National Water Commission, NEPA, the Jamaica Public Service Company. Yeah, we can snuggle somewhere in there with the electronics engineers. And many other, the highway construction arena, the building construction arena, NROC. There are many institutions that deal with civil engineers. So that will give you a sort of brief introduction into where you're going. You guys are starting with the science. Civil engineering is fundamentally based on science. So therefore, you need the physics and the math. And your first set of courses in this semester will have physics and math in there. And you will have to be proficient at those things so that you can progress. The first year is 10%, the second year is 40%, and the final year is the rest. So it builds on itself, just like those pyramids. All right, so that's a brief introduction into civil engineering and what you're going to be doing here. I believe we'll have a special civil engineering meeting on the 2nd at between 1 and 3 p.m. You will be notified. All right, hope to see you then. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Matt Morris. So you see here, at engineering, we have a number of interesting and cutting edge programs. So along with the 3-year programs that we have in engineering, we have a 1-year pre-engineering program. And this program serves to matriculate students into any one of our 3-year BSc engineering programs. So I am the head of the pre-engineering program, also the deputy dean of teaching, learning, and student matters. And for this preliminary engineering program, it serves to provide a structure that allows students, as I mentioned before, to qualify for transition into any of our BSc engineering programs within the UWI-MONA. It also provides the requisite foundation in mathematics, science, laboratory techniques, and communication skills that are required for a beginner engineering student. And it also facilitates increased enrollment in engineering to meet the future needs of our industries. So as mentioned before, there will be post-orientation meetings for the various programs. So this academic advising session for level 1 and pre-engineering student will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. So we'll be going through details about the pre-engineering program and also other questions that you might have for the other programs as well. Okay. Next on our program, we're going keeping good time. So our students here, they're well-rounded. They do not only excelling in academics, but also in the arts and other disciplines. So up next is a video presentation featuring Mr. Sahid Bowman, who is a level 2 electronics engineering student who will be doing a steel pan rendition of Lockdown by Coffee. Wonderful rendition we have there. Lovely music. All right, just give me a moment. Let me just share my screen. All right, a pleasant good afternoon again. As mentioned before, I am Dr. Roxanne Stennett Brown, and I am the Deputy Dean of Teaching, Learning, and Student Matters. So we'll be looking at registration to graduation, just looking at some of the things we need to do to set ourselves on the right track from the beginning. So to start, we'll look at some of the programs. We have mentioned before, we have been introduced to our head of programs. There are 4 areas of specialization for our BSc programs. We have biomedical engineering, civil engineering, electrical power engineering, and electronics engineering. We also have a 1-year program, as I mentioned before, the preliminary engineering program, and it serves as a qualifying year for students seeking to access any one of the 4 3-year BSc engineering programs that I've mentioned before. So in order to qualify for the pre-engineering program, we require passes in at least 5 CSEC subjects, including mathematics, physics, and English. For our international exams, passes in at least 5 GCE O levels, or 5 IB, or passes in SAT from other international institutions. So all of these should include mathematics, English, and physics. Or if you have a certificate or diploma from City and Guilds, or a GAICO exam from China's National College Entrance Examination, or passes in high school mathematics and physics, along with other sciences, and also have completed a heart diploma in a relevant technical discipline, or you have been working in a relevant technical field for at least 4 years. All right. So these are qualifications that we can use in entry to the preliminary engineering 1-year program. For qualification for entry to the 3-year BSc engineering program, we will need passes in both Unit 1 and Unit 2 of CAPE Mathematics and Physics. This semester, however, the matriculation process has been relaxed at the university owing to the delay in the sittings of both CAPE and CSEC exams. So at this point in time in the university, we are accepting 1 unit of CAPE Mathematics and 1 unit of Physics for entry into the BSc engineering programs. So students who have passed at least 2 CAPE subjects, either Unit 1 or 2, with grades 1 to 4, who also have the requisite CSEC subjects and are currently awaiting results for the 2nd unit, will qualify as normal matriculants to the new WI Mona campus. So during the course of the week, we'll be having our post-orientation meeting with our different heads of program where the subject matter can be discussed in greater detail. Also admissible are passes in GCE A-levels mathematics or physics, passes in mathematics and physics from the preliminary year of the Faculty of Science and Technology, also a diploma in a relevant engineering program from an approved institution. You can also get more information from the faculty handbook, which can be found on the Faculty of Engineering website, to give you more information and qualifications for admission into any one of our 4 BSc engineering programs. All right, so here at the university, you are encouraged to complete Fountain 14 in your own year. It is one of our 3 foundation courses that every student that enters the University of the West Indies must complete before they're awarded their degree. All right? It is important that you complete Fountain 14 also in your first year, as it serves as a prerequisite to other compulsory courses, namely technical communication and technical writing, which is offered at level 2 and level 3 respectively. So it's important for us to do Fountain 14 as our first foundation course. The other two foundation courses are Found 1301 and Found 1101. There are some instances where Found 1101, which is Caribbean civilization, can be replaced with a foreign language, but please communicate your thoughts to your head of program before attempting to make such a substitution. Now, in order to sit Fountain 14, it is important that you have one of the following requirements: either grade 1 in CSEC English, or grade A in GCE O-level English language, or grades 1 or 2 in Cape Communication Studies, or grade A in GCE General Paper. If you do not possess the above any one of these, you will be required to sit the university's ELPT, which is the English Language Proficiency Test, which is administered by the Faculty of Humanities and Education. The exam is usually offered at set times each semester, so you may contact the Faculty of Humanities and Education for the next ELPT exam date. So contact them, get the information that is required, pay the fee, get the document that is needed to prepare for the exam, and sit your exam. So once you have passed this exam, you may go ahead and sit your Fountain 14. Remember, this is one of your foundation courses that must be done. It is usually offered in the second semester, so it would be good if you do not have the requisite English passes that you sit the ELPT test this semester in preparation for Fountain 14, which will be offered in the second semester. Encouraging our students, take the time to work out the courses you will need to complete your degree. Ensure you have the necessary prerequisites before registering for any particular course. Ensure that you register for a minimum of 15 credits per semester. You're allowed to register a minimum of 15 credits to be considered a full-time student at the University of the West Indies. If you register for less, then you'll be considered a part-time student. You can register for up to a maximum of 18 credits. However, beyond that, in some special cases, the students can seek approval for registering for a higher loan. Ensure that you have the correct prerequisites to sit the particular course, and priority is given to all outstanding or trailing lower level courses. I'm guessing that a lot of students are asked about course approval. Course approvals will be done throughout the course of this week, so you don't have to worry. We, the head of programs, and myself, Deputy Dean of Teaching, Learning, Student Matters, will be going through the different profiles and approving courses throughout the course of this week. All right. Also, we're encouraging you also to ensure that you pass all required level 1 courses before matriculation to level 3 final year. So you will not be able to go on to level 3 without passing all your level 1 courses. All right, so here is a list of courses that you may choose from, for example, the pre-engineering program. And you might ask yourself, where may I find out which courses to select for each semester? So you can get this information from the faculty handbook, which is located on the Faculty of Engineering website. So in this table, as you can see here, it gives a number of credits. So we have 3 credit courses, we have 4 credit courses, we have 2 credit courses here in the faculty. So the table here gives you the number of credits. So the table on the left, which shows the courses that you should select for pre-engineering in semester 1. We give you the course title, and we'll also give you the course code, so you can use your handbook to search for the course code for your courses so that you can go ahead and register. And a little later, we'll be having talks on RIS, which give you a nice outline of how you can go online and register for your courses. Also, we have our IT officer, Mr. Stefan Anderson, which also will be giving you a walk through on using our online environment. So these are just some example of courses that you will select as a pre-engineering student in the Faculty of Engineering for both semester 1 and semester 2. In semester 2, or for registering for semester 2 courses, that is usually done in November or late December. All right, for biomedical engineering, for one of our BSc level 1 courses, here are some examples of the courses that you will also be selecting. So again, as I mentioned before, you can go to the faculty website and download the faculty handbook, and you can see all the courses that you require. So also, please be reminded that academic counseling sessions will run for the duration of this week. To your email detailing the time and date for these sessions. Also, when you register for your courses on SAS, which is the student administration system online, that's where you go to register for your courses, you will, a timetable will be automatically generated. We're encouraging students not to use the timetable that is generated by SAS, however, located on the Faculty of Engineering website. So get familiarized with the faculty's website, and on the website you can find the timetable for all the different programs: pre-engineering, civil engineering, biomedical engineering, electronics engineering, electrical power engineering for both semester 1 and for semester 2. You can bear in mind also the latest update for each timetable. So the latest date should be, or the latest timetable should be up by today or probably earliest tomorrow. In terms of passing your courses here in the faculty, to pass a course, a minimum mark of 50% must be made. In the event that a candidate is absent from an exam due to medical reasons, an acceptable medical certificate must be submitted to the Faculty of Engineering. And in such cases, the candidate will be allowed to write the examination at a later date without penalty. To qualify for honors here, all engineering programs require that students pass their capstone project at the first attempt. And following my talk here, we'll have a talk from Dr. Faulkner, and he will share more information on the capstone project, which all students in the Faculty of Engineering will be doing. Very, very important, plagiarism and cheating. This is unacceptable at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. Students have been caught cheating in the past, online. So in the past, we had exams which were online. Coming this year, stipulation from the campus, exams will be face-to-face this year, right? So to avoid these things, I'm encouraging persons to stay far from cheating and plagiarizing, right? Penalties may include being awarded a failure mark, right? You can be removed from some of or all of your further exams. And also, lastly, the student can be dismissed from the university. We don't want these things to happen. So I'm personally encouraging students to refrain from plagiarizing and cheating at all costs. Work hard. Give this goal in your life, this journey, the best shot that you have. Work hard. All hard work will bring a profit. Right? So I'm encouraging students to stay away from this. Penalties will be on your records permanently. So we don't want that in the future. You're looking for a job, you want a transcript to another university or something like that, and your records indicate some form of penalty in the form of cheating. All right. So to be awarded your degree, you will require you're required a minimum of 97 credits for the biomedical engineering program, 105 credits for the civil engineering program, 101 credits for the electrical power engineering program, and 106 credits for the electronics engineering program. So these are all tallied from level 1. So these are cumulative credits from level 1, level 2, and level 3. So take time to calculate the number of credits you will require to complete each level and the specific courses you will need to sit to complete your degree. So take time to work this all out. Take time also to work out your timetable. Each program that we have here at the Faculty of Engineering, the timetables that are generated by us on our website, there are no clashes. However, you might have instances where students might be sitting courses at different levels. So you might encounter a few clashes. So it's important for you from beforehand to try as best as possible to minimize clashes, to take time to work out your timetable before you select your courses. Students now with a semester GPA of less than 2.0 will be sent a warning letter. So I'm encouraging students to work hard, try to improve your GPA, ensure your GPA is at a high level. And students with a GPA of less than 2 also for consecutive semester, back-to-back semesters, you will be asked to withdraw from your program. So stay away from this number as much as possible and work to obtain GPAs that are very high. So this table that we have here, it shows you the matching range of marks with the GPA letter grade and also the GPA points for each mark. So for example here, for marks between 90 to 100 would have a GPA of 4.3 and a grade point average letter of A+. So I'm encouraging students as much as possible to keep your GPA high. Don't want any warning letters to be sent out. Graduation honors will be awarded upon completion of all course requirements using the GPA scheme that is below here. So for a first class honors, you will have to maintain a cumulative GPA of greater than or equal to 3.6. For a pass, it will be between 2 to 2.49. And students with final weighted average below this number, which we want to stay from below 2, will be recorded as having failed the program. So I'm encouraging students, work hard as much as you can. All right, some important dates to remember for semester 1. Teaching begins Monday online, September 6th, and teaching should end on Friday, November 26th of this semester. And the examination period will run from Monday, December 6th to Wednesday, December 22nd. And semester 1 will end on December 22. Also, reminding students, when you're registering for your courses, ensure that you register for all sections. So for a typical 3-credit course, it should have lectures, tutorials, and possible labs. So ensure that when you register for your courses, that you select all the different sections for you to be completely registered once approvals are given. So for the post-orientation meetings that we'll be having for the rest of this week, we have beginning tomorrow at 9 a.m. we will have our academic advising session with the pre-engineering and level 1 students. That will be at 9 o'clock for the biomedical engineering program and for the electrical power engineering program. And you've already met your head of programs. Those sessions for biomedical engineering run at 9 a.m. and electrical power engineering at 12. On September 3rd, we'll have our electronics engineering program, which will be at 10 a.m. and our civil engineering program at 1 p.m. Also, meeting tomorrow, and I'm encouraging all students to ensure that you are a part of this meeting, is with the IT officer, and he will basically be taking you through the online environment, looking at the different platforms that you'll be using here at the university so that you can be familiarized in time for your classes on Monday. So all programs, biomedical, pre-engineering, electrical power engineering, electronics engineering, civil engineering, you should be at the session tomorrow at 12 noon. So an email should be sent out to your email accounts, and ensure if you do not receive an email, please contact the Faculty of Engineering so that a link can be sent to you so that you can be a part of these post-orientation sessions. And that's it. Thank you. Queries as usual, please post in the chat. So I'm encouraging all persons to send your queries into the live chat so that you can, our team on hand can answer those questions promptly. Thank you very much. Okay, next we'll have Dr. Faulkner. And Dr. Faulkner has been introduced before. He's the head of program for electronics engineering and also the project coordinator for our faculty. And he'll be talking a little bit more about your final year capstone project. Dr. Faulkner.
Good afternoon again, students and parents. Welcome again to this great institution. So I'm going to speak to you about your capstone project, your final year project that all engineering students have to do to complete the program. The capstone project is a time for students to shine. It is the culminating moment of your program in the Bachelor of Science in Engineering. And I know a lot of you have been thinking from an early age, from maybe primary school or prep school, on things that you'd like to build, things that you'd like to develop when you got introduced to science. And trust me, this, being at the University of the West Indies, will give you the chance to build things and to build great things. So I'm going to carry you through the capstone project and let you be aware of projects that we have done before and how you will be exposed to science and technology and building real-world solutions. So first, what is engineering? Engineering, of course, is the application of science and mathematics to solve real-world problems. And you note, real-world problems. So when we speak about science, of course, we're speaking about physics, chemistry, biology, geology, and computer science, of course. So generally, in the development of systems, the scientists normally develop theories and mathematical principles to solve problems. But sometimes some of these theories are not implementable. It is the engineers who are generally tasked to find a way to implement these systems. The engineers, of course, will consider the constraints of practical systems and develop ways of simplifying the theoretical solutions to make them achievable. Science and technology have impacted the world in a major way, especially over the last 100 years. We have seen the advancement made in dams, bridges, buildings, roads, and other infrastructure, thanks to the field of civil engineering. We have also seen the advancements made in robotics, telecommunication systems, electric vehicle, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and we are now witnessing the evolution of the fourth industrial revolution, thanks to the fields of electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer science. We have seen the electrification of the world, the improvement in the efficiencies of electrical systems, such as generators and transformers, the advancement in renewable energy technology, and the introduction of smart grid, thanks to the field of electrical power engineering. We have seen the advancement made in applying engineering principles to medicine, biology for the application of health care. Also, the advancement made in magnetic resonance imaging, X-ray imaging, ultrasound imaging, ventilators, and patient monitoring systems, thanks to the field of biomedical engineering. Many universities worldwide have contributed to advancing the technology mentioned above, including the University of the West Indies. You are here to continue this legacy and to increase our contribution to solving real-world problems, especially those faced in our backyards. Throughout your program, you'll be gaining knowledge. You'll be gaining theoretical and practical knowledge. In level 1 and also in the preliminary program, you will be introduced to basic theoretical concepts, moving on to advanced concepts and also practical applications. Then when you transition to level 2, that's where you will get the core knowledge of engineering. Of course, also from a theoretical and practical perspective. You will learn about how to build solutions to systems, real-world systems. But of course, when you reach level 3, that's the stage where you're going to do major applications. That's the stage where you're going to build real-world applications. We're going to solve problems, and the Capstone project will allow you to do so. The Capstone project is done in level 3, as I said before. Its duration is 1 year, right? So semester 1 and semester 2. So normally, students are given the project in September, and they start to plan immediately, start to design, come up with your project plan, your concept diagrams, and so on. So the first semester is normally used for planning and design, and also for testing devices for students who are going to build a prototype. The second semester is normally when you do implementation and testing. So generally, the problems that we give to students are problems to solve, are real-world problems that we want students to solve. Normally, a prototype is required, especially for the electronics engineering, electrical power engineering, and biomedical engineering programs. However, sometimes students do research projects to investigate a particular concept, and in so they may do simulations. For the civil engineering program especially, as you know, it's difficult to build a prototype for a bridge, a real-world bridge or a building. So typically students will do drawing, they will do simulation, they'll research and explain the concepts, and they will visit sites and come up with real-world measurements to show that this thing is possible. So of course, part of the deliverable, all students are required to do an oral presentation. Students need to talk about what they have done, the difficulties that they have faced, and carry us through, that's the examiners, through the whole development process. And of course, we'll question them to get feedback to understand if they fully understand what they did. The students are also required to write a paper, write a technical paper that can be published. And also the students will do poster presentations. So who can propose a project? Companies. Normally companies that we collaborate with, they may have problems internally and they may want us to develop a solution for them, so they can propose a project. Lecturers generally propose projects. Lecturers and members of staff also in the faculty or within the university can propose projects. And you, students yourselves, you can propose projects. So I will give you a task. Now is the time for you to formulate a problem that you want to solve. Look around you. What are the problems you're seeing at home, in the community, in the schools that you want to solve? Now is the time to start to think about those problems. And as you learn, as you gain knowledge, you start to accumulate information on the method that you can use to solve these problems. Also, any member of the society can propose a project. So we're open to solve problems within the world. So anyone can come to the university and propose a project. So in solving complex problems, of course, there's a methodology to go about this. So here I have a flow chart that shows the approach, the engineering approach to solving a complex problem. So first, of course, we start with the concept. You know, someone come to you and they say, you know, I have a problem that I want you to solve, and you ask them to explain what that problem is. So they have the concept, and then you're gonna pull from that the requirements to implement the solution. And then, of course, you go to the design and development stage. You look at different implementation, which one is more suitable, and you test, right? Then you verify, and then you install. And then, of course, after that, you have maintenance, and then at the end, you have disposal. So that's a general perspective of what we're going to carry you throughout your 3 years at the University of the West Indies. So here are some examples of some projects. The first, I will show some civil engineering projects that were done in the past. A monorail system for Kingston and St. Andrew urban area. Can you imagine if we have a rail system from downtown Kingston to Alpha-Tree, or to New Kingston, or to Papine? That would be beautiful. That would be wonderful. And the students have proposed a solution for implementing such a system. Another example is a proposal for a mini stadium at the University of the West Indies. As you know, at the Mona Bowl, we have a field there for football, track and field, and so on. But it would be good if we could have a mini stadium that can host a number of persons to use this facility. This would also be an income generator for the University of the West Indies. So students have done design for their project to show how to implement such a stadium. Other civil engineering projects include the choice of wave energy device and foundation device, UE student union redevelopment to make, to modernize the student union, a foundation design report for Mona Visitors Lodge redevelopment. So now we look on some electronics engineering projects, examples. This project was done during the last semester, last school year, and it's an oscilloscope and spectrum analyzer using a smartphone or tablet. This project was developed and proposed by Dr. Paul Aiken, and also myself make some modification to that proposal, because it would be good to have electronic devices within the school so students can be exposed to monitoring voltages and current within circuits. You can see the sine wave instead of just looking at a wave in the textbook. You can see the wave, and you can see sawtooth waves and so on. And the student did a wonderful job in developing the solution here, shown here. So you can see on the left, the student started out with the concept. So of course, in level 1, you learn to do 3D drawing, and you know how to draw. In 3D, you can do 3D printing to actually print the enclosure for the device. And you learn about the electronics of how you can develop electronic circuits. And all students within the biomedical, electronics, and electrical program will learn how to develop circuit boards and electrical systems to build a solution. Another student during last school year developed an artificial intelligent navigation system for the blind. This was a wonderful project. This system basically assists the blind person in identifying objects and distance from objects in their path. And as shown here on the right, the student was moving, and we basically blindfolded him and put some obstacles in the way to verify if the device worked. And it did work. So we're hoping that we can enhance on this design. Other electronics engineering projects include voice over internet protocol telephony system that was done last year. Well, all these projects were done last year. Using hand gestures to control home appliances, a custom-made processor using VHDL and an FPGA, and radio frequency-based wireless charger. Examples of electrical power engineering projects: a centralized monitoring system, energy monitoring system. So students have developed a system that can be placed in a building, whether it's be a home or in a business place, to monitor the usage of appliances within the building. And the students have successfully implemented this project. Another example is the implementation of this charge controller, a maximum power point tracking system. This uses energy from a solar panel to charge a battery, and it does so by maximizing the power from the panel. So this is the best type of charge controller on the market currently. Other electrical engineering projects includes a solar air conditioning system that a student did last semester. Wonderful project. Basically use the sun to cool your home. We're looking to go further into developing that system. A solar photovoltaic system implementation and monitoring, and electrical power grid and SCADA systems were implemented by students within the program. For biomedical engineering, students have also done wonderful projects. We have a sprained ankle rehabilitative device. This design that the student implemented, the concept is shown here, the drawing on the left. And here in the middle, you can see the student has done the implementation of the electrical circuits with printed circuit board, the power supply, and so on. So I put this diagram here for you to see the rigors of design that you have to go through in implementing this system. And the student successfully implemented the system, right? The prototype, of course, but it worked where the student can program particular exercise that the patient needs to do, and the system will carry out those activities. Another example is this wonderful project. It's a patient monitoring smart mask, right? So this smart mask has sensors in it to monitor the breathing rate, the cough rate of patients, right? And you can see on the left, the student do the electronics design, and the student bought an off-the-shelf mask and retrofit that mask with the electronics to build it. And here you see the student is wearing it. So you can see the level that we go to implement real-world solution. And of course, this mask works for the most part, but it needs some more development, of course, the prototype. Other biomedical engineering projects include prostate cancer cell detection using deep learning and histopathological images. And this project worked for the most part, needs some improvement, but was a good project. We have a non-invasive, low-cost glucose monitoring system. This is another wonderful project. If we can get something like this working, it would be a great thing for the doctors to have. We have also a wearable posture detection and pressure point stimulation device. So the final year capstone projects, it exposes you to solving real world problems. So we have students doing all different types of projects. Some pictures here show where students have also done a poster session. We weren't able to have poster session for the last 2 years because of the pandemic, but this poster session gives students the ability to expose their work to the university community and the rest of the society, where people will come and ask questions about your project, give you ideas so you can get feedback on what you have done. And also, we have done capstone projects that can compete with the best in the world. In 2017, Jason Brown's capstone project won the technical paper competition at the IEEE Southeastern Conference. It was a project that I proposed and supervised. And his patient monitoring system was able to monitor vital signs on the patient and then transmit this wirelessly to a centralized server. And in doing so, you could have multiple patient monitoring systems on different patients, sending information to that central system for doctors to monitor. So we continue to grow the program, and we continue to look at problems within the society. So now is the time for you to focus, to think about problems that you want to solve, because we're going to carry you on that journey. Trust me, you have a lot to learn. We're going to carry you on that journey to solve problems, because that is what engineers are about. So I thank you very much for listening. And I hope you really think about the capstone project. I want you to think about it throughout the entire 3 years, from level 1, level 2, and then when you reach level 3, you're going to execute a project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Partner. Very interesting talk. So students, get on your way, start thinking and working through your capstone project, what solution that you have for some problem in Jamaica, across the Caribbean, or global, right? Before we go forward, I'm going to allow the Dean, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, to give a short talk. There's some questions in the chat regarding the beginning of classes and the mode or the formality that we'll be using going forward in terms of teaching. Dr. Adrian Lawrence, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Stennet-Brown. So I think this was after Dr. Faulkner's presentation on the projects. This is a good time to come in and just clarify one thing for some of the persons that have questions. So engineering is a practical type of education that you have that you go through. And so whereas when I said that we are going online, that online is specifically for lectures. So the lectures, we are unable to accommodate 50 students in a classroom given the current environment. However, the labs, we can stream the labs into smaller groups, and so therefore the labs will be face-to-face. The various lecturers that have labs with their courses will assess the class size. They will communicate with the class as to how they will conduct their labs. But labs will be face-to-face when they start, because that allows us to bring in new students in smaller groups at a time and allow you to safely conduct your labs. So if there are any questions regarding face-to-face and labs, the answer is we will be conducting our labs face-to-face, but I will allow the lecturers to decide when is the best time to start their labs and how they will conduct those labs with the size groups that they determine is safe for them to have these labs. So that's just a quick clarification I wanted to add, and I'll continue with the program, Dr. Stennet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. All right, in continuing with the program, we have coming up next Mr. Alwyn Biseso. He is the Guild representative and president of the Mona Engineering Society, and he will be talking on tips, tricks, and hacks. Mr. Alwyn Biseso, you may go ahead.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. Hello, hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon to our Dean, Dr. Lawrence, Deputy Deans, other members of faculty, our returning students, and especially to our first year engineering students. Welcome. My name is Alwyn Biseso, the Faculty of Engineering representative for the year 2021-2022. And I'm here to advocate for you, our students, at the highest level. Just like you, for one reason or the other, we chose to pursue engineering. And more than just the idea of a well-paying job at the end, we all share a similar mindset. Even though we may be of different disciplines and year groups, in the end, we all want the title of being called proudly an engineer. It is that very same passion that prompted you to be a part of this faculty in the first place, that brought me here in the first place. That opportunity to make a huge impact in our families, communities, nation, and by extension, the world at large. From the beginning of time, from the invention of stone daggers for hunting, the realization of how to create fires, to creating an irrigation system for large-scale farming, sailing across the seas, to even now where we have electric cars, smart homes, and AIs. We engineers, no world changers, create the largest domino effect that the world has ever and will ever see. It is rather unfortunate that in this time we are still on an online space, but nonetheless, here we, the MES family, have a lot in store for you, and we are here for you, our students. So are you seeing my screen, by the way? All right, sorry. All right, so The vision for this year, the society is established to integrate all engineering disciplines within the Faculty of Engineering at the UMONA. It serves as a student umbrella organization for the promotion of student welfare, development, and advancement, while nurturing the academic, professional, and social development of us, future engineers. Sorry about that just now. As we continue through the year, I like to emphasize that we are on a continuous pursuit for excellence. So our faculty is still relatively new, and so is MES, but we continue to represent you, our students. We are going to continue to increase partnerships and promote student engagement as we continue this great faculty journey. Now, I was tasked with sharing with you some tips, tricks, and hacks, and in the process of doing so, I will as well share with you, introduce to you the rest of my executive body, the MES executive body. So my name is Alumni, the MES president, and my tip to all of you is to not be afraid to ask for help. Learn ahead from the students above you, and just remember, you're not alone. There are plenty of degrees to go around. My first VP, Dervan Miller. His tip, attend our tutorials. They are crucial for your understanding. My second VP, Mr. Martinil Bartley. His hack, if you don't have access to a multimeter or LED, you can use, if you don't have access to a multimeter, you can use a LED to test for continuity in your circuit. Mr. Nicoy Brown, our secretary, my secretary. His tip, always make note of important dates, whether due dates or important events. Mr. Daniel Collins, our treasurer. His tips, do your assignments early. Do your part in the group work on time and don't be afraid to report delinquent group members. 3, make friends. Ms. Roshania Rhodes, or EAC. Her tip is to establish a good work-life balance. Ensure you get your work done, but also set aside some time for relaxation and rest. Ms. Janelle Hurd, or PRO. Ask all the questions you have, especially the dumb questions. The dumb questions. It's better to ask than to assume. Ms. Ebony Smith, or PCC. Her word of advice, pace yourself. A little a day goes a long way. Mr. Real Small, or Male Games Committee Chairperson. His tip for math and math-related courses, always do the practice questions. They are often repeated on tests and exams. Or female GCC, Miss Yanel Anderson. Her tip, when studying and you feel a wave of tiredness, you should take a quick nap or a little walk if you decide to take a nap. Make sure to set adequate alarms or have a trusted friend to wake you. All the best. Mr. Joshua Anderson, our power representative. His tip, try to make a few friends in your class. You'll need the support eventually. Ms. Rishka Gibor, our civil engineering representative. Get familiar with your lecturers. Don't be afraid to reach out when you need help. Mr. Gawain Wright, or electronics engineering representative. Attend our tutorials as they are crucial for your understanding. Ms. Abhijan Anderson, or biomedical engineer representative. Don't be afraid to take a break or two. And now, just for you to know a bit more about your reps and their roles. Your reps are chosen via an election process where we help to ensure students, staff, liaison committee representatives are elected by week 3 of teaching. The transformation process, where we help to foster and actively encourage transformative development of students who over time demonstrate the 7 attributes of ideal UE graduate. Of the ideal UE graduate. 3. Responsibility. Help encourage self-awareness and personal responsibility using UE, student support, policy documents. 4. Set. Encourage maximum participation in UE, set, student evaluation of teaching. 5. Consultation. Encourage lecture office hours / consultation hours as a key student support mechanism. Very important. Ownership. Encourage student role clarity and ownership of their objectives using UE, student support, policy documents. Meetings. Encourage maximum participation in SSLC meetings. Documentation. Help ensure documentation of student feedbacks and that the student feedback loop is closed. Communication. Weekly tracker communication. Use the quality assurance and enhancement weekly tracker to support students' journey through each week in the 16th or 17-week seminar. And 10, assessment. Help build exams and assessment readiness using UE, student support, policy documents. And now, as a few words from two representatives of the Guild. One first being Mr. Niall Anderson, who unfortunately can't make it. He is a bit occupied at the moment, but shares his regards. He was last year's engineering rep and is currently the VP SSP for UE Mona Guild. The Guild VP SSP wants to create a university for all, one where everyone's voice is heard and everyone is catered for my equitable access to this opportunity of a tertiary education, whether one is financially challenged, physically challenged, or culturally challenged. The VP SSP is here for you. What is also significant is that one of the first times that the Faculty of Engineering has had representation on the executive. So engineering students are assured that between Alwayan and me, they will be represented to the maximum, regardless of our small population. Lastly, I'd like to invite Mr. Javante Webster, a member of the Guild, just to share with the students what the Guild is, what they're about, and plans for the year, really. Just a few words from our CAC, Mr. Javante Webster. I believe he's in the waiting room still. Can somebody please let him in?
Thank you very much, Alwyn. I'm available now. Pleasant afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first start by welcoming each and every one of you to the University at West Indies. We're expecting great things from this faculty, as in a faculty of greatness. Students who are here to diversify the world and provide us with, expertise. Great minds from the Faculty of Engineering. So my name is Javante. I am the Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson. So for those of you who don't know, I'm basically the person in charge of executing events from entertainment to cultural affairs at the University of West Indies. So in a sense, the UE Mona Guild, we are the governing body of students. So we are an appointed we're appointed body of students who are in charge of representing each and every one of you at administrative level and to ensure that what is being offered to each and every student is being offered fairly. So from my portfolio specifically, as I said earlier, I'm in charge of the cultural integration as well as entertainment of the student body. So I plan to execute several events this year that range from online fits, online open mic sessions to various cultural events where students get an opportunity to present, to talk, to gain a platform essentially. So every year we also host this pageant called Miss UE pageant. So in a sense, that pageant is something that we invite all students to come and be a part of. This year usually only facilitate our female students. So the winner of that pageant, we're trying to work on a partnership with Miss Jamaica World to get the winner of that pageant a space in that competition. So our first event for the year is going to be this coming Saturday. It's going to be Freshers Fest. It's going to be an online event. We'll be streaming from a off-campus site. Please, I'm inviting each and every one of you to come out. It'll be streamed via YouTube and Instagram. The essence of this event, we're trying to basically welcome our students to the University of the West Indies. We'll be having a lot of giveaways and surprises. And moving forward, as the year progresses, I want to not just focus on parties. As you know, we're in a virtual space now, and to be honest, entertainment is not just a party. Again, entertainment stems from various angles and various fields. And University of the West Indies has over 20,000 students, if I'm not mistaken, over 20,000 students. And as such, we're trying at least to cater for the various demographics. So we have events for the Christians, events for students who don't like parties, events for students who like cultural events. We're trying to basically diversify the offerings that we have to the students for this academic year. So as you can see, well, I just signed off work a bit, so I'm in my little Jane shirt and my background. But thanks for having me. I'm expecting great things from this faculty. You guys have an extremely capable and extremely poised guild representative, Mr. Biseso. So with that being said, thank you very much for your time and patience, and please enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, Javante. And that's really it from me. Once again, thank you very much for listening, and to our new students, welcome once again. We look forward to working with you this year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alwin Biseso, encouraging students to write down some of those tips, some interesting tips, good tips. You know, one of the tips I took note of is getting to know your cohort. You know, get to know your cohort. So write down some of these tips. It will be useful as you go through your years here at the Faculty of Engineering. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, and support the event coming this weekend. Okay, thank you again, Mr. Alwin Biseso. All right, next we welcome Mrs. Tamea Wilson. She's a counselor from the University Health Center, and she'll be presenting on some of the amenities that we can access from the University Health Center. Mrs. Tamea Wilson, you may go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's Tamaya, that's fine, Roxanne. And so I'm one of the counselors at the counseling unit, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit more about how you can take charge of your mental health and some of the services that are available at the health center. Okay, so let me put this in presentation mode. Are you seeing my screen? Okay, so just take a moment to congratulate yourselves for making it to university. This is your first year of the beginning of your career. And I want to encourage you to take it seriously, but not too seriously, to have balance as you go through and enjoy each moment. For every accomplishment that you make in life, take the time out to tap yourself on the shoulder or on the back and say, a job well done, and celebrate each milestone. All right? Now, from the academic perspective, and I'm going to be going pretty quickly because I do have a short time, the academic perspective, things remain the same. Yes, we're in COVID times and we're not in face-to-face classes, but some of the principles remain the same. Take good notes. Stay organized and use a calendar or your reminders. It's important to let your family members know your class or study schedule so that they won't disturb you. And for some of you, this may mean a little bit of negotiation with your family members in terms of maybe use of space, or maybe your parents might want you to help with your siblings, younger siblings, and their online schooling. And so you're going to need to be able to negotiate with them and have some kind of discussion about this. You also need to begin to work with your strengths if you're not already doing so. So know what your peak hours are. what is your particular learning style and maximize your strengths to your advantage. Okay, you can visit the academic support unit to get some information and guidance on how you can learn what your learning style is, study tips, and you can learn how to study smarter, not harder. It's also important to take breaks. So when you're studying, after every half an hour, you take a little 5-minute break. This is not 5 minutes to sit and watch a series because you're going to get trapped in that cycle. It's 5 minutes is to go use the bathroom, take a water break, go sit on the veranda and get a little sun, do some stretches, and you get back to work. But taking frequent breaks is important. Taking breaks when you're in your class, what you do in between your online sessions is also important. Pay attention to your body, what your body is telling you. You may need to go get some water, those kind of things. Just pay attention. The next thing is to ask for help. And I see that your student mentioned that in one of the tips that he gave. It's important to ask for help when you need it. Okay. In terms of your social health, it's important to have some healthy relationship practices. You want to make new friends, but in the meantime, you also want to keep the friends you have. Don't be quick to cut your friends off. If your friends make a mistake, they do something that's hurtful, if they are remorseful and they want to make amends, be open to that. Forgiveness is a very important part to maintaining long-term relationships. And these are a very important source of support for you as you go through university. It's also important to get active, be involved, get to know the people in your cohort, get to know the other people in your faculty and in other faculties, make friends, become a part of the clubs and the societies on campus. There are over 100 that you can take part in. There must be something that you can find that you are interested in. Get involved. Now, in terms of your physical health, the foundation for functioning in every area of your life is going to be on your diet, your exercise, and your sleep. When clients come to me, I always ask them how things are doing in that area. Are they sleeping well? How many hours sleep are they getting? What are they having a balanced diet? Are they not eating because they think they're too slim and they want to lose weight? Are they not eating because of financial reasons? It tells a whole lot. Maybe they're not eating because there's social anxiety and they have to go to the supermarket or to the cook shop or to the restaurant and they don't want to have to interact with people. So this area tells a whole lot about how you're doing emotionally and mentally. Right? So of course we know the basics. You're going to have a balanced diet, keep your plate colorful, and keep your food as close to its natural form as possible. Try to eliminate or reduce the amount of processed foods that you have. We generally want to sleep 6 to 9 hours per night. And of course, you know during exam times that is going to be reduced, but you don't want to be doing all nights as the night before an exam or even the week of the exams. You want to do those all nighters if that is your particular way of studying. Do those all nighters 2 weeks before the exam, so that you're getting maximum benefit there, but you're also getting the rest you need so that you can function optimally and clearly in your exams. Exercising 3 times per week, 30 minutes a day as the bare minimum, and exercising is important for health in every area. You're able to focus better, think more clearly, retain information, and so you want to be sure that you're exercising. Now, the closed mouth does not get fed. So if you need help, ask, reach out for help, talk to people. There are people around you who care, and so you need to reach out to them. You want to be honest with yourself, so you're going to check in with yourself, check how you're doing. Am I stressed? Am I overwhelmed? Am I angry? Am I lonely? And how are you going to respond to what you have found out about yourself when you take that time? Learn to identify and express your feelings in a healthy way. And journaling is one thing that I recommend for a lot of clients to do as a form of emotional expression, right? It's important to have a support system and talk. It's not enough to know that you have 3 or 4 people who you can trust and who you can really talk to, but then you don't talk to them when you're having problems because you don't want to burden them, they're having their own problems, and you have all sorts of excuses for why you're not going to talk to these people. So find some people who you can trust, and when you need them, talk, reach out, right? It's also important to manage your stress levels. Okay, And you can come to the health center to learn some ways for managing stress. You can also seek help, as I said, seek help when needed. All right. Now, some of the services at the health center include medical services. So we have medical doctors on staff. We have the counseling services, as I mentioned. We have a psychiatrist who works very closely with the counselors. They're public health nurses, so these take care of immunizations. We are not giving the COVID vaccine at the health center, so you'd have to go to Mona Aging and Wellness Center for that. In terms of dental, we have a dental clinic and a nutritionist who comes by occasionally. Note though that we do not have optical services. Okay? We are located along the spine, and that is between the road between Irving Hall and the post office, and we're closer to Irving Hall. Right? And that's 11 Gibraltar Camp Way. Our contact numbers there on the screen, please make note of it. 876-927-2520 or 970017. And during the pandemic, our hours have been reduced to 8:30 to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, and we're closed on Saturdays. When things open back up more fully and there are classes, more face-to-face classes, then our hours will go back to normal. Now, the counseling services, I want to remind you, are confidential. We have 3 psychologists on staff, and we work closely with the psychiatrists. You can come for individual counseling. We have workshops, so you can reach out to us to do workshops for your groups on campus. You can get a psychiatric assessment. You can get sexual harassment advising. So if you have been sexually harassed by a peer, by a staff member, a lecturer, not a staff member on campus, then you can come and get some advice on how you may want to proceed and how you want to deal with it. You can get exam waivers when appropriate. So if, God forbid, someone very close to you dies during an exam, or you are ill just before an exam, come to the counseling unit or come to the health center, and we will be able to work with you to see if this waiver is an appropriate means for, will be appropriate for you. Right? We also have peer support providers. So if you are interested in becoming a peer support provider, you can call our office 970-1992, and you can get information on how to apply. UE Helps is our 24-hour counseling line. It is manned by one trained counselor, and she will respond to you within 24 hours. So you can WhatsApp, text her, you can call, and she will respond. This is a support that is available, particularly when our offices are closed and you can't get to one of us. Right? So again, our contact numbers at the counseling unit are 876-970-1992. And you can WhatsApp text for appointments. And that number is 876-856-5758. Nice easy number. So the WhatsApp text appointments line is 876-856-5758. And our pandemic hours are the same as the health center, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I want to wish you all the best for a successful year. And I leave you with a quote from Viktor Frankl. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And so in the midst of COVID, when we feel like we're out of control and we want to go back to life as normal and face-to-face and be around people and our friends and family, we can change our attitude, we can change ourselves. And again, those are our contact information. All the best to you.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Tamia Wilson. Well said. We had got some lovely tips encouraging persons to make use of the services that are provided by the University Health Center. Thank you very much. All right, up next we have Miss Yolanda Tugwell. She's a liaison librarian for the Faculty of Engineering, and she will be sharing a video presentation for us, and followed by Dr. Anne-Marie Williams. She's a Student Services and Development Manager for the Placement and Career Services. So we'll have Miss Yolanda Tugwell now. We welcome you.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the UE Mona campus, your place to shine. Congratulations on being accepted to the Faculty of Engineering. The library wants to be your partner as you go through this university experience. And we're just happy to have you, whether virtually or if you're coming in physically. Just want to point out that I am the liaison librarian, as was mentioned before, Yolanda Tugwell, and I'm also the Hall of Residence librarian for the Chancellor Hall, for those persons who will be living on that Hall of Residence. I am based at the main library of the University of the West Indies, Mona Libraries. However, your library will be the Science and Engineering branch library, all right? And there you will have personnel that can assist you, Dr. Sasika Harris and Mrs. Karen Tyrrell, among other staff members who will be able to assist you at that library. You can also get in touch with me, and my contact information is on this slide. Hello? Okay. In an online environment, all right? And we're going to look at just an overview of the library, resources available to you, services, and how we go about servicing you while you're in the online environment. So the library at a glance, our motto, access anytime, anywhere. And we have the main library, and there are 4 branches, including the Science and Engineering branch library, which is your library, right? So we have the law library, we have the medical library, we have the Western Jamaica campus library, and your ID gets you into all of these libraries, right? So there are pictures here of the libraries, and on the bottom right left-hand corner, you'll see a picture of the entrance to the Science and Engineering branch library. So that library is located to the south of the physics department, and they cover resources in engineering among other science-related disciplines. There are reading rooms and stacks there, computer labs. There's also the engineering study room on the 2nd floor, in addition to other collections there. The library has configured all their spaces in adherence to the COVID-19 requirements. So we ask that when you visit, you make sure that you adhere to these protocols. So some of the resources we have include print resources. So they're open shelf items. There are reserve book collection items, and these items are chiefly your textbooks, all right? And we have periodicals. So another name for that would be like your newspapers, your journals, and stuff of that ilk, right? West Indies and special collections, usually West Indian-based material that cannot leave the library. So we have electronic resources available on UWE-Link, UWE Libraries Information Connection, which will be the information portal that will take you to the resources that we have available, right? So there are ebooks available. We have subscription-based scholarly journals, citation guides, and it also has examination past papers that you can access using the course code or the title of the particular course. So as we said, there are electronic resources. We offer downloadable articles and books. We have ebooks, and we also free ebooks too, because your university tuition takes care of all of that. You know, indirectly you pay for these resources, so we wanted to use them, whether for your engineering core courses as well as the other courses that you have that you'll be doing at the university. So these are some of our ebook vendors. Wiley, Springerlink, ebooks on EBSCOhost are some of the chief ones that have your engineering books available, and we invite you to use the platform, UWeLink, to be able to access them. So I took the opportunity to use two titles that we currently have in the ebooks, electronic books, the Building Bridges, which could be used by civil engineers, and the other one, Recent Advantages, which would be available to persons doing electrical engineering and so on. So one of the key databases that we have is what is called CREDA Reference, and it's a very good database for all persons to know because it is very critical in helping you to kind of fine-tune your searches. So if you have a topic and you have no idea of what are some of the topics that would actually fit into that particular topic or discipline, you will see here I have taken out two mind maps from searches done on engineering and biomedical engineering. And what will happen is that we are able to get credible resources that you can access. They can be emailed to you, that kind of a thing. So it's a very good database to know, and it can not only be used for engineering, but all the disciplines that you do. It's very good, especially for Found 1401, when you start that particular course. So IEEE Explore is one of the main databases that you may use during your university education. There are also EBSCO-related databases such as Academic Search Ultimate, Caribbean Search, Communication, and Mass Media Complete, among others. So I have the logos for some of the databases that we currently subscribe to. So how do you access the library resources? If you're coming physically, you will need to make sure that you have your UEID card, right? Your UEID card will give you access into the physical space, right? Remember, the opening hours for science and engineering now are 9 to 4 p.m. And those hours may change during the summer and holidays. So this is what our interface looks like, UWeLink, and that's where you would go to actually find the resources that are available to you at all the campuses, including the Mona campus. So from the library's website, which is mona.ue.edu, you would be able to also access the same databases. So you could go to resources, then electronic databases, and you will see that drop-down menu there that indicates the databases that are accessible to you. All of these populate into the UWeLink platform. So some of the services that we're offering to support you in your undergraduate journey, we currently have the Ask the Librarian, which is an online chat available to you from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. during the weekdays. For the physical loans, we have interlibrary loans where we can get items from other libraries for you, and we're able to get that. If it is outside of the UE system, of course, you may have to pay something. But for example, if there's an item at the St. Augustine campus and we're able to copy within copyright limitations, we do provide that service of giving photocopies to students, right? So you'll be able to email to request that information. So one of the citation styles that you'll be using for your assignments will be the Chicago Manual of Style. So we're currently using the 17th edition of it, and we'll be having a workshop further down in the semester regarding that. In addition to that, we hope to have a plagiarism 101 workshop, and UWeLink, which we're asking you to put on your calendars for next week. We'll be having sessions from 11 a.m. and then at 6 p.m. for Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going Mondays to Thursdays next week. So serving you, our patrons, in the online environment, as we said, subscription to over 35 databases. We have 400 ebooks from EBSCO, UE Press, and UE Space. You know, we have a wealth of information available online. serving your patrons in the online environment. So as I pointed out before, we can have physical items scanned, edited, and emailed to you, both faculty and students, right? And all our seminars and workshops are now being offered through Zoom. There's curbside pickup if you need to get the physical resources. There's also the tablet or laptop loans. So these will have to be requested through your department and through your faculty and your department, and they will send an email asking for those loans to be administered to you. There is an extended due date now for 1 day for the items that are reserved book collection. These are the physical resources we're talking about. So these are the workshops. As was pointed out before, for the ULink sessions, they will be next week from Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. on all the days. And then 6 p.m., there'll be an additional session at 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. There's also the Plagiarism 101 session, which will be on September 7th. That's a Thursday at 2 p.m. So we have what is called the UE ML1 Mona Libraries Resources. It's a portal that is in Orville, and I think we have and through there, you're able to actually self-enroll at no cost to you. And we have what is called a LibGuide that you can look at. That is available on our website, okay? So find us everywhere. The library's website, mona.ue.edu/library. You can email us at reference.library@uemona.edu.jm for requests in terms of physical items. Milu for persons, that's for mostly for persons who are doing postgrad, but for the undergraduates, we do offer citation support for them. And you can find us on the social media at UEMONA Library on Instagram and Facebook. On Twitter, we are at UEMONA HRL. We also have a YouTube page at Mona Library. And I now we'll now show a video on your particular library. Thank you for listening and all the best in your university education.
Welcome to the University of the West Indies Mona Science and Engineering Branch Library. The Science and Engineering Branch Library plays a crucial role in your academic success. As such, please join us on this virtual tour of your Science and Engineering Branch Library, which is located in the Faculty of Science and Technology. Upon entering the Science and Engineering Branch Library, our welcoming team will greet you at the circulation desk. Behind the circulation desk is the reserve book collection, where books that are in high demand or course materials are kept for short-term loans. You also have access to a computer lab in this general area. The computers are loaded with software to aid in your academic success. These include EndNote Reference Management, SPSS Statistical Software, Microsoft Suite, among other educational software. Adjacent to the circulation area is your reading room. This is one of several areas available in your Science and Engineering Branch Library for quiet study or group study. On this floor, you also have access to your dedicated reference librarian who is ready to assist you with your information needs. Additionally, on this floor, you may access books from the open shelf collection for use inside the library or for extended takeaway. Your restrooms are on this floor. The Science and Engineering Branch Library is a multi-story facility. Let's head up to the first floor and see what awaits. The first floor houses the periodicals collection, which provides access to print journals. Electronic journals can be accessed online anywhere, anytime from your library's website. There is a reading room on the periodicals floor for your group discussion and project assimilation. 9 carrels for postgraduates' individual study and research are on this floor. These carols can be pre-booked at the circulation desk for 3 hours at a time. A librarian's office is also located on this floor to facilitate your queries. Let's now go to the second floor of your Science and Engineering branch library. This floor boasts a spacious conference room which can be booked online or in person. The engineering reading room is located on this floor and there are additional restrooms here. Access to the engineering reading room requires a fob key issued by the Faculty of Engineering. Postgrads, welcome to the Postgraduate Learning Commons, a space exclusively for you. In your PGLC, you have access to the lounge and study areas for research or relaxation. You also have 4 seminar rooms with varying seating capacity, equipped with a whiteboard for small group discussion and study. The Science and Engineering branch library team is pleased to serve you and looks forward to interacting with you.
The library, we'll have next Dr. Anne-Marie Williams. She's a Student Services and Development Manager from the Placement and Career Services. We welcome you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stennett Brown. And I must say congratulations and welcome to the University of the West Indies family. I know you have aimed high because you have chosen the UWI. Now, I want to just reiterate 2 tips and give you an additional one as you now prepare to pioneer your future. And tip number 1, please remember, time is short. Advance and excel in your academic courses. Number 2, be very conscious of your psychological and physical health. And number 3, be aware and explore all the co-curricular opportunities that are available to you through the University of the West Indies. And I speak particularly for the services that are offered through the Office of Student Services and Development. We are here to help you, to guide you into developing into that holistic person, that ideal UWI graduate. And so, one of the units that deals with that co-curricular activity is the Office of Placement and Career Services. Now, the Office of Placement and Career Services focuses primarily on helping you to hone some of those soft skills that will make you the rounded, employable individual. I have a very short video that will introduce you to some of our services that we offer. And at the end of the video, I will share just a very short comment. So please go ahead and share that video.
The Office of Placement and Career Services, UWI MONA. The department's aim is to assist UWI students in making a smooth transition to the world of work. How does the Office of Placement and Career Services assist students from their first year through to their final year? We assist students by offering services in self-assessment and individual career counseling, career exploration opportunities, job readiness seminars, job search and job referral assistance, internship coordination, resume and cover letter advising and reviews, job interview techniques and coaching, employment compensation package and negotiation advising, facilitating the overseas work and travel program, by way of overseas work and travel agencies and scholarship coordination. Students can benefit from seminars, workshops, resume clinics, career exposition and job fair, mock interviews. Contacting the office is easy. We are located upstairs at the Office of Graduate Studies and Research, 20 Ring Road, UWI MONA. Monday to Friday 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Be aware and plan your career.
Now, we will be offering our services in a virtual space. So I invite you to connect with us. We have an excellent working relationship with your faculty. We share in their job mock interviews, we share in their job fair, and we also want you to access these services because we know the employers are expecting you to not just be grounded academically, but also to be grounded in your soft skills. So I invite you, connect with us and let us help you as you pioneer your future. Congratulations again and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anne-Marie Williams. And again, make use of all these services that are provided at the University of the West Indies. We're running a little bit behind time. We have next Mr. Jeremy Hall. He is an electronics engineering graduate from the University of the West Indies Faculty of Engineering, and also standing in place for the Faculty of Engineering President for the Alumni Association. We have Mr. Roshin Winter, and they'll just be talking about, where can engineering take you in life. Mr. Hall?
So let's start again. So where can engineering take you? I'll just quickly go through three things for engineering and how my own path as a graduate of this program has turned out. For one, a lot of our engineers have left the faculty after graduating and gone on to start their own business, entrepreneurship. A lot of popular fields for engineers, especially in electronics, is HVAC installation, solar panel companies, and the new wave Dr. Faulkner spoke about, the fourth industrial revolution, smart homes, automation, Internet of Things. So a number of graduates have gone on to either start or join new ventures in these fields. So entrepreneurship is one example, and a lot of students are a part of business ventures even before joining the program. Other most popular example is working in the field, and you guys will get exposure to a lot of companies that partner with the university, doing internships, doing partnerships with projects. So you'll get exposure to these companies. And these companies in engineering can take you a lot of places. My own journey through telecommunications have seen me travel to various places in the Caribbean working on technology products and installations, integrations throughout the Caribbean, supporting markets even as far as the South Pacific. A number of your colleagues, for example, have developed very specialized engineering skills, and they're consultants that travel extensively internationally to provide their services. So in the corporate space, in the field that you study, there are a lot of options that you can climb the ladder, develop your expertise, and work for a lot of these companies, some that you'll be introduced to. The third thing that normally happens is a lot of engineers sometimes even end up jumping careers. Engineering is about problem solving, and the beauty about the foundation you'll set as an engineer is to develop skill sets for thinking creatively about problems. When I start my career, I joined a company, a multinational company that our global HR director was a professional engineer. She had a degree in engineering, and you find a lot of companies, senior management, and chairpersons of boards who have engineering as their first degree, even though they don't work in engineering anymore. And that's because of how translatable the skills and knowledge you learn in engineering will be. That you can apply to various disciplines. Academia, a number of your faculty here, they've been in the field in engineering disciplines, and they're applying it to academia or research and development. So three core areas for engineering is a quick talk. The alumni present will be there. There are numbers of us who've gone through the program, and you can get in touch with persons who've gone through to give advice. But in general, a lot of persons, as I mentioned, go through entrepreneurship, working in the industry in an engineering specific field. A lot of persons apply engineering principles to solve other problems, finance, commerce, management, project management. So the possibilities are endless. All right, and over to, there's going to be the president of the Alumni Association to give some more tips as well.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I am not the president. My name is Rasheen Winter. I am going to be speaking on behalf of the president, who is Emali Cohen. I am the vice president of the Alumni Association. Now, I will let you know that Jeremy Hall has covered the overall extent of what to expect after life within school. But us in the alumni also, we were always thinking about how can we apply what we've learned and then also give back to the community, right? So here with us, what you can always look forward to is the ability to move beyond just looking out for yourself, but also how can we learn to give back to the community through the skills that we have gained from the during our 3 years to 4 years of schooling. Now, let me just give you a little bit of myself. Personally, I would let you know that I have always wanted to, do something with regards to seeing something on paper become a reality. No, I did not know at the time that engineering was something that was for me. In fact, I didn't really think about it that way. I've always been, I was lost during the process of, high school and stuff like that. However, fortunately, the past dean of the faculty had came by at Arden, and what he had done was to show us the possibilities. All these programs that you have been, introduced to today, the four of them, I was also presented with these as a choice, and then I was like, yes, this is definitely something I would love to do and stuff like that. Especially because overall, I really hated the state of Jamaica's roads. Now I've always wanted to be a part of the problem solving of that problem, being a part of the solution to that problem. And I came into the civil engineering program and was, head on, wanted to do transportation and, learning about the structure of roadways and such alike, because, I was introduced to it just as you were, like this. Now, there's one thing that I want to note before I continue is that the civil engineering program is where I would personally, I like to call it a Swiss Army knife kind of program. Whereas when it comes on to generally engineering on a whole, you learn how to approach and tackle problems in a very systematic method, and and definitely in a scientific method as well. And if you are one of the persons who want to do civil engineering, I'll let you know that the skills that you gain from such a program as well also allows you to go into many facets. So I'm talking about, transportation. I'm talking about even, structures. We're talking about roadway design. We're talking about geotechnical engineering. That is, dealing with the soils of the earth and stuff like that. For me personally, as much as I had started off with a love of roads, during the school program, I had actually gained a very an appreciation for the hydraulics. And so even now, my current job that I am in, I am focused on wastewater, potable water, and also stormwater runoff. And so I want you to come into the program. I want you to come into whichever of the four engineering disciplines that you are, you choose, and come in with an open mind. Yes, you might have something in mind, but trust me, the skills that you gain, and especially the knowledge that you gain, now allows you to approach any problem in in an almost let me not say, I would say the word magical, but it is because, us as engineers, as we learn and we grow, we are able to approach it differently from the general public, and learning how to do all of these problems. Now, one other thing that I do want to, open up your mind for is as Jeremy has mentioned before, is entrepreneurship. I personally have, multiple ventures that are within the works, and I'll let you know that it is probably because, and I know most likely because you have the ability to manage your time a lot better because of what you do as an engineer. And then also you also have the ability to because section out your life in such a way that you are able to benefit from the acute problem solving skills that you have. All right. But generally speaking, I'll let you know that the program on a whole, it will put you through the ringer, especially if you're someone who has a little bit of problem within math. But trust me, when you get to the other side, when you get past all of the tests and all of that, and you're now applying yourself, and doing your designs, that love for design, if you have that spark, trust me, this is the program for you. All right. So, as I said, Jeremy did cover most of what I wanted to speak to, but I hope that my words have inspired you today. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Lovely, lovely. Engineering, we have a whole lot of work to do. There are lots of problems around, and we know that we can tackle them. Can hear from the top from the young men, when you leave here from the Faculty of Engineering, you'll be equipped to tackle the world's problems. All right, we're going to move on with the program we have coming up next. Miss Shakira Kane and Miss Alison Dragon, they're representatives from RIS, and they'll be giving us a guide through the online registration process. So enjoy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Good day, Pelicans, or should I say engineering Pelicans of the University of the West Indies, Mona. My name is Shakira Kane, a representative of the Registry Information Systems, otherwise known as RIS, under the Office of the Campus Registrar. The basic foundation of being a university student is to be registered. So let me walk you through the steps of knowing your way around the registration process. All right, so basically we have 5 simple steps for you to abide by. Step 1 is obtaining registration information. So this would be your usual orientation activities, which is currently going on now for the Faculty of Engineering, followed by online guidelines. Step 2 is academic counseling. Now, I believe Dr. Stennett Brown had mentioned earlier about this counseling. So basically, academic counseling is getting all the knowledge you need for registering for your courses in a given semester. So semester 1 is between the period of August to December, and semester 2 is the period of January to May of a given academic year. Now we're in the year 2021, 2022. So semester 1 basically starts as of next month in terms of school. All right. Then in terms of other areas of counseling, you need to know the courses that you're pursuing. So the basic knowledge of how to work the SAS portal system, where that's where you're going to actually register your courses. You need to get familiar with the course codes. As you have seen before, each representative represents a different area of engineering. So let me just give you just a brief understanding of what a course code is. A course code is the representation of your faculty. So in the case of civil engineering, your code will be CE and G. In the case of electrical and computer engineering, your course code will be EC and G. In the case of software engineering, it will be SWEN, which is SWEN. And in the case of engineering on a whole, it's ENGR. Now, in terms of step 3, which is selection of courses, you're going to go onto the platform that is called the SAS portal, Student Administrative Section. There you will select your courses online And in terms of requesting an override, it may prompt you to do so. So that would be step 3. Step 4 now is to check for approval. So how you do that will be in a section called registration status and financial clearance. That's also located on that SAS portal. Step 5 is very crucial for any university student, especially for Faculty of Engineering. Payment of fees and financial clearance has to be done by the UWI-MONA bursary. So that means payments can be made online or at designated locations. Financial clearance must be obtained electronically when fees are paid or accounted for. Now we move on to the registration dates. And in this section, you will know by now, based on an email that would have come through the pipeline to your email address, that registration has already started on Monday, August 9, 2021. Now, there will come a time where normal registration will cease and late registration will begin. Of course, the dates and the penalties in terms of what you have to pay in order to register for a course will be announced at a later date. But you can look out for those emails coming from the UWI-MONA bursary under the Office of the Campus Registrar. So you will have to look out for those emails via the pipeline, or you could just visit the UWI-MONA website for these updates. Now, academic counseling. So let's stress it a little bit more. Academic counseling means you do not take advice from a family member or a friend, all right? Whether or not they're past students, it is the rule. So you do not take advice from a family member or friend, and you do not take advice from registration assistants. The faculty office is solely responsible for your academic counseling. They know what they're doing in a given semester or a given academic year. There will always be changes per academic year, which means a past student will not know what semester 1 will carry of the next academic year. Or current students, you don't get information from other students. You are strictly you're a student in software engineering within this academic year. So no student can guide a student, no family member or no friend. Academic counseling is highly recommended before selection of courses from your faculty office. So let's dive into a little bit more about how the USAS portal works. So all students are required to select courses online from UWI-MONA homepage at www.mona.uwi.edu. As once you go onto the website, it will prompt you to go to current students, as you see in the screenshot shown, and then it's going to ask you to select register for courses. Once you come up on the website of the SAS portal, the message will ask you to put in your ID number and your password. So your ID number is what will be considered your username, and your password is what will be provided by MITS. Now, your password can take 2 formats. It will usually start with 4 digits of year, 2 digits of a month, and 2 digits for a day. Now, at a particular moment in time, it may require you to renew your password. If that is the case, you will contact MONA Information Technology Services, otherwise known as MITS, UWI-MONA. We move on to the course selection steps. So as I said, go to the SAS page, enter on secure area, log in with your ID number and password, do your course search, and add your courses. Now, you can add courses, you can drop courses, or in certain cases, it may prompt you to request an override if necessary. Now, once you have done your override, the section where you will check will be registration status and financial clearance. Right there, you will see on the platform how your courses will look. Now, blue represents you're web registered, you're safe, you're good to go. Red means you're not fully there yet. It means you're pending for approval, which means the representative of the Faculty of Engineering will be on the other end to approve you once you have done the override properly. Points to note: main registration is online. Register early to avoid late registration penalties. Select all components of a course when adding, and drop all components of a course when dropping. So let me give you an example. You're signing into the SAS portal and you're looking up courses to add, and you, being an engineering student, wants to register for ENGR 1100. This is known as the engineering profession. That's a first year course. Once you're registering, it's going to prompt you to select one lecture, one tutorial. In another example, you could select ENGR 1105. This will prompt you to select a practicum and a tutorial. Now, each component is coded. M represents a lecture, T represents a tutorial, Q represents a practical or a practicum, B represents a lab, and F represents a field trip. So in the event during your tenure here at UWI, you may come upon codes. So what is very crucial for you is to look at the top of your SAS page where it shows you different columns. So you will see course code, you will see CMP. CMP means the campus that you are aligned to. So you cannot be in Western Jamaica registering for a Mona course, and you cannot be in a community college registering for a Western Jamaica course. So you have to look at the columns. You look at the course code, you look at the title, you look at the day, the time, you look at the campus, and you look at the attributes, as well as the names of your lecturers or tutors. So that is how you select a component of a course. So again, if we're looking at ENGR 1100, it prompts you to select one lecture, one tutorial before you click register to move on to the next course. The next section is select the current course section, which I've said before, the campus. Override requests are processed by the faculty and approval is or are not guaranteed. So this is very crucial because students always query if they must be accepted. No, you're not. The faculty has the right to determine who comes in the course. Why? Because they have to control the capacity. So, for example, if the capacity is set at a certain amount, they have to know who gets in and who is not allowed to do this as an elective or so on and so forth. So the faculty is solely responsible to determining who gets into a course. Now, the turnaround time may vary, so be patient with your Faculty of Engineering because it's always a long queue going through the usual process of registration, whether in semester 1 or semester 2. Now, the next thing you do is check registration status and financial clearance. And then the last point is very important. It says registration for a course is registration for the examination. Let us be clear. You cannot enter an exam room without being properly registered. You cannot be in an override stage still if you know your exam is the following morning. You must get your overrides. So you will contact your lecturer or your tutor, or you could just call the office and find out what is the turnaround time of these overrides. So you have choices. So ensure that you are fully web registered, and you will know when you're fully web registered. Your course should show in blue. If you're not fully registered and you're pending for approval, your courses will show in red. Now, in terms of resetting your password, this will only be of importance for you when you need to reset your password. So the MITS team will come in to play a crucial role for you, just in case the year, month, date does not suffice and you need a new password. So you can take your mobile devices and just screenshot the screen, save these numbers. There's so many platforms you can reach MITS on. The first and foremost is that they're on a pop-up messenger above your signing in on the SAS portal. Secondly, they're on WhatsApp. You can contact them at 876-499-2291, or you can call them on their landlines, 876-927-2148 or 876-977-9306. Their email address is helpdesk, HELPDESK, at uwimona.edu.jm. Now, there can be two ways in which you may have an issue with logging in. This is where both MITS or it's a case where admissions have to play a part for you. In terms of issues of logging, it can mean two things, your offer or your password. And what I mean is your offer, if you were not given an offer as yet, or you have not been given an offer, or you have been given an offer but not have accepted it, means you cannot register on the portal. We have had cases like that before, and we're just reminding you, always check your admissions portal. Admissions would have sent you an email to say that click this link to accept your offer. Please bear in mind there are 3 ways of replying to admissions in that portal. You have accept only, you have accept and defer to another academic year, or you have deny. So you have to bear in mind what exactly you're accepting. So your offer could be a case where you have not accepted it as yet, or you were not given it as yet to be accepted. So this is where UE admissions will play a crucial role for you, just to make sure all is well before you go to the UE SAS portal platform. And then secondly, it could just be a case of your password needs to renew. So this is what your registration checklist should look like. Number 1, academic counseling received. Number 2, course selection complete. Number 3, verify course registration status. And number 4, financial clearance complete. So each role plays. UE Mona bursary plays for you with the payments. The offer plays for you with UE Mona admissions. Your password is set with MITS. And if you need to access a registration video tutorial, this is where RIS will assist you. We have already designed a video tutorial that is on the UE Mona SAS portal. You go on the UE website and then just click straight to the SAS portal. It will walk you through the entire process of how to add courses, how to drop courses, and where necessary, where to request an override. And we have come to the end of Registration 101, Engineering Pelicans. If you have any further queries about registration, you can definitely ask us in the chat, where both Miss Alison Dragon and myself will be able to assist you. We wish you nothing but clear blue skies and good health during your study here at the UWI Mona. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. RS, very informative session on registration. So take note of these, and point to note as well, we have paused the approval process, giving persons a chance to attend their academic advising session, and so that they can complete the registration properly. Then we'll resume. We'll be having approvals throughout this week. Up next, we have Mr. Stefan Anderson, and he will be presenting on navigating the UWI online environment. Mr. Stefan Anderson.
All right. Good afternoon, parents and students. Let me just first take this opportunity to welcome you all to the UWI Mona Faculty of Engineering. And since you have heard a lot from the previous presenters, I won't keep it for too long, and especially dinner is getting cool. So I'll just give you a brief overview of navigating the UE online, and in tomorrow in our session at 12 noon, we'll take in a bit more details. All right, so first, let me just introduce you to our online learning tools for the semester, for semester 1. All right, so as the faculty prepares to teach in blended approach for this semester 1, there are some digital tools that you need to become more familiar with. The first one is Zoom. I mean, I know most of you by now would have been familiar with Zoom, video conferencing service used for online blended teaching within the Faculty of Engineering. Now, I will take this time to just encourage you to just have Zoom installed on your various devices that you'll be using to attend classes. ENGVL is the other platform that I want to introduce you guys to, is our online resources. It's our online platform for resources as it relates to your courses. So once you have registered on SAS for all your engineering courses, or all your courses overall, you'll gain access to ENGVL. And for non-engineering courses that are taught, non-engineering courses are taught using the university's OERVL platform. All right, so move on. All right, so I also want to introduce students to our stores, engineering stores, where you will gain access to your lab components for your projects, for your labs. So usually engineering students will purchase components from the stores, and at the end of the semester, if you wish to return those components, you will be reimbursed. Most students will keep the components because they build stuff that they wish to keep. Now, Dr. Fauna would have mentioned the Capstone project, which of course all engineering students would have to do at the end before they graduate from the program. And we have a website for that, which is projects.ngvla.com. And as I mentioned previously, we'll be going in more details in a number of these things. So don't be worried. Don't be too worried about going too fast. And then civil engineering students may access equipment for lab and field projects via the FOE Inventory Store, located on the top floor of the administrative building. We have a system for that. All right. So in previous presentation, you were introduced to the UWI Libraries Discovery Portal, which can also be accessed on ENGVLE, which we'll go to in a bit. And Ask a Librarian real-time library and research assistance through chat is available on ENGVLE as well. Sorry for the error. Engineering timetables are also accessible on the faculty's website. And I'll take you to ENGVLE, the faculty's website, and a few other systems shortly, so you can have an idea as to how these systems will look, or how to access some of these systems. So these are some software used within the engineering faculty that you may gain access to. AutoCAD is the first one. We have LabVIEW, we have MATLAB. All of these software are accessible on ENGVLE in your respective courses that you'll be doing. So once you are required to use any of these software, you gain access by ENGVLE by your course. Microsoft Office is another software available to students. University of West Indies Mona Campus offers all students Microsoft Office for free. You may access Office 365 account, which allows you to download Microsoft Office on your personal devices. Instructions of installing the free Microsoft Office Pro Plus can be accessed on the UWI MonaMedia website. And Multisim is another option. Multisim is a software used by most electronics, electrical, and biomedical students. Again, it's accessible on ENGVLE. Proteus is also accessible, and all of these software, you are able to use them remotely, so you don't have to worry about them. Instructions will be provided in your respective courses on ENGVLE. Now let's just take it to ENGVLE for a bit before we go any further. All right, so once you gain access to your respective courses on ENGVLE, it will look somewhat like this. Each course page will look similar to this. You have the course, the name of the course, the course code, etc., etc. You will also be able to access the Zoom links for the class sessions, which will be placed there by your lecturers. And for students joining a Zoom session, for instance, if you log on to any of your courses, you'll be able to navigate to the course page. And if I'm supposed to, for instance, hit lecture session, you'll be able to join that particular session at that particular time. All right, so you mentioned most of these already. I also want to make mention of the Moodle app that our engineering students also use. So now the Moodle app can be accessed on Play Store and iTunes and the Apple Store as well for those iPhone users. And you are able to install this app on your phone for free and configure it. Once you have installed the app, you'll ask you for the URL, which is engvla.com. Once you put that in, you'll be able to access the ENGVLE platform. So in other words, you're able to access ENGVLE via the web and via the Moodle app. Now, the Moodle app have a number of benefits that you can, it comes with a number of benefits. So you're able to easily access course content, browse your course content offline as well, because it gives you the ability to save these contents within the same course containers within the app and browse it offline. You're able to connect with your course participants like your fellow classmates. You're able to keep up to date, receive instant notification messages, etc. So if you have an assignment becoming due soon, the app will notify you, similar to how you receive your other instant messages. You're able to submit assignments as well and track the progress of your grades, etc. Now, I also want to make mention of the laptop that is issued to all new full-time students within the Faculty of Engineering, within any of the program, once they have paid their tuition fee or in full or in parts. We'll speak more about that in upcoming session. And then now I wanted to make mention of some of the avenues in which you could reach out for any form of support where IT is concerned. So you can reach out to the faculty via the live chat option, which is accessible on our website. If you scroll to the bottom of our website, you're able to chat with any of our support staff on any issue or queries that you may have. We also have a WhatsApp option for persons to reach out. We also, for ENG-VLE query, students can reach out to the ENG-VLE administrator via the messaging feature on ENG-VLE website or within the app itself, which is the Moodle app. Now, previously I saw some questions regarding where can students locate the faculty handbook. I just want to point out some useful links that can be accessed on our website. The faculty handbook, the new handbook, can be accessed under the useful links section, and that's on the homepage of the website under useful links. We have a number of useful links, such as the engineering stories that I mentioned earlier, ENG-VLE, projects portal, etc. You can just take a look there. And sorry about that. And also, I want to take the time out to introduce you guys to our social media pages. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can message us as well if you have questions, Twitter, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That's it for me. That was really short.
Thank you, Stefan. All right, we have come to the end of our virtual orientation session. It was lovely having you here. Give me a chance to just share the post-orientation session that we'll be having throughout the course of this week. So tomorrow I'll be meeting with level 1 and pre-engineering students at 9 a.m. And Mr. Stefan Anderson will continue his session at 1 o'clock for all new level 1 students and for all pre-engineering students. So make an effort to attend these sessions. And for the rest of the week, the other programs, biomedical engineering is on Thursday at 11 a.m. And we have electrical power engineering students also meeting with the head of program as well on Thursday, September 2nd at 1 a.m. Civil engineering students will be meeting at 3. And on September 3rd, electronics engineering students will be meeting with their head of program at 11 on Friday. So just bear in mind these dates and look out for the email links so that you can attend these sessions with your head of program and more guidance in the registration process, and also in meeting with the IT officer, Mr. Stefan Anderson. How do you access this ENG-VLE platform, how you attend your classes, and more detail in maneuvering through the online environment. So with that, also just remind persons to send your requests or queries to engineering.request@umona.edu.jn. Also, bear in mind that your correct timetables are available on the Faculty of Engineering webpage. The link is also in the orientation package that is accessible on your Faculty of Engineering website. Mr. Stefan Anderson, a moment ago, displayed the faculty website. So with that, just encouraging our students to work hard and give this journey in your life your best shot. You won't regret it. Stay close to God, keep safe in this time, and I just want to thank all the persons who presented today. Thanking Mrs. Marjorie Spence for her coordinating of the activities for the session. Also, thanks to the Dean, Deputy Deans, administrative and technical staff today. And thanks again to all our students for participating in our virtual orientation session. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, all our new students. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. We'll be leaving with a short video from the first year experience. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the University of the West Indies.
The University of the West Indies. This whole new world revealed to me possibilities, and this road in front of me. It's my destiny, oh yeah.
University of the West Indies, your place to shine.
Good afternoon, everyone, specifically to our first year students. Let me also welcome you to the Faculty of Engineering here at Mona campus and congratulate you for accepting the offer. This is my pleasure to introduce our first year experience program. I'm one of the facilitators, Siobhan Hutchinson. Now, our first year experience program, as the name suggests, is an out of classroom experience. It is designed specifically with you in mind, our first year students. This is an out of classroom experience. It is not a lecturing experience. It is your fun-filled year. And so everything that we have geared it specifically to help to design, to guide you and help you to adjust to life here at the University of the West Indies. Here with the first year experience, you'll be immersed in the cultural atmosphere here on campus. We will introduce you to specific resources on campus, specific persons on campus who you need to know, such as our registrar or librarian or campus library or bookshop, and all other things that are necessary for your growth and success here at the University of the West Indies. I must say in the past, we would have had excursions, we would have immersed you in fine dining where we take you out to restaurant week and to we would have immersed you in fine dining where we take you out to restaurant week and to cultural locations such as Bob Marley Museum, Taino Village, Arawak Village, all the other necessary cultural places that you need to know about your country. However, due to our COVID pandemic, we have resorted to a virtual experience, but not to worry, our virtual experience still is fun-filled. We have prizes and giveaways. We have our virtual limes, which are actually very buzzing and exciting. We allow you to also meet your fellow first-year students who are online. We have designed activities to help you to navigate public speaking and also to meet your first-year classmates. We also have our peer mentors who are assigned to help you, right? Those students who would have been in their second year and third year who have gone through the first year experience, and they're also accessible. I, as your facilitator and other facilitators on campus, we are very accessible. We can be reached on WhatsApp. We generally create a WhatsApp group where you are able to communicate with us. We send our Zoom link and we send real-time information. Right? And especially for those who are on hall, we have our hall first year experience, which is at different times and different locations. And so for those who will be on hall, I implore you to join your hall first year experience. And so for those who are commuting students, right, we encourage you to join our faculty first year experience. I encourage you to join our first year program. It's very exciting, it's engaging, it is fun-filled, and it caters to your holistic development. You will not be disappointed, and don't worry about your prizes and giveaways. We will work out the logistics in how to get your gifts to you, but I implore you, join a first year program today.